The sky above Dust Haven burned orange that evening, the dying sun spilling blood-red light over the empty streets. Wind whispered through hanging saloon signs and rattled the dry bones of the town. It was auction day. A crowd had gathered near the center square, miners, ranchers, drifters, all pressed close around a wooden platform. The smell of whiskey and sweat hung thick in the air. On that platform stood a young blonde girl, barely 20, barefoot, her wrists shackled in iron. The auctioneer's voice cracked through the wind like a whip. "Next up, gentlemen. Strong back, fair skin, healthy and obedient. Who'll start the bidding?" Laughter rolled through the crowd. Men called out numbers between their swigs of whiskey. $20, $30, $45. Each shout echoed like a bullet in the girl's chest. Her name was Lily, though no one there cared to know it. Her trembling eyes scanned the faces before her, until they stopped at a single man standing in the shadows. He was tall, broad-shouldered despite his years, his gray beard trimmed neat under the brim of a weathered hat. His coat was old, his boots cracked, his eyes colder than desert steel. That was Samuel Graves, known across the valley as the old rancher of Iron Ridge. He hadn't smiled in 10 years, not since his wife, Mary, died. He came to town only for supplies and left before dark. But fate, cruel as it was, had different plans that day. The auctioneer's gavel slammed against the block. Going once, going twice. $100. The words cut through the noise like thunder. The crowd fell silent. The auctioneer blinked. "You serious, old man?" Samuel stepped forward, boots thudding against the wood. He dropped a small leather pouch at the auctioneer's feet, the jingle of silver coins sealing his intent. "I'm serious," he said, "and I ain't here to buy a slave. I'm here to buy her freedom." Murmurs rippled through the crowd. A drunk cowboy snorted. "You gone soft, Graves?" Samuel didn't look at him. "I've seen enough chains in this life." The auctioneer licked his lips, greedy. "She's yours then. Take her." The shackles came off with a metallic snap. The girl stumbled forward and nearly fell, but Samuel caught her gently. "You're safe now," he said, wrapping his old coat around her shoulders. Her lips trembled. "Why would you do this?" He met her eyes, soft, frightened, blue as morning sky. "Because no one else would." They left the town behind as the sun disappeared behind the ridges. Dust rose beneath the hooves of Samuel's horse, painting a long shadow behind him. The girl rode behind him, quiet, holding the saddle with shaking hands. After a long silence, she whispered, "My name is Lily." "Lily," Samuel repeated. "That's a good name. You'll be all right now." "Where are we going?" "Home," he said. "My ranch. You'll rest there until you figure out what's next." Night had fallen by the time they reached the ranch. The place stretched wide across the valley, fences half broken, barns leaning, but strong enough to stand against the wind. Samuel dismounted, helped Lily down, and led her to a small cabin near the house. "It ain't much," he said, opening the creaking door, "but it's safe. You can stay here." She looked around, the bed neatly made, a table with a lamp, a folded blanket waiting. Her eyes filled with tears. "No one's ever given me a place before." He nodded slowly. "Well, you got one now." As he turned to leave, she called softly, "Thank you, Mr. Graves." "Just Sam," he said. "Get some sleep, Lily. Sun comes up early out here." That night, Samuel sat alone by the fire, whiskey glass untouched on the table. He could hear the faint sound of the girl breathing through the thin cabin wall, and for the first time in 10 years, the sound didn't make him feel lonely. Outside, the prairie stretched silent beneath a sky full of stars. And somewhere in that vast silence, Samuel felt something stir inside him, something he thought was long dead. Spring painted the Iron Ridge Valley in green again. The streams ran clear, and the sound of horses filled the ranch yard once more. Lily had changed the place. She worked hard, laughed softly, and hummed tunes while hanging laundry in the wind. Samuel watched from the porch sometimes, silent, thoughtful. She reminded him of Mary, the same fire, the same way of bringing light into a place that had forgotten warmth. They settled into a rhythm, quiet mornings, hard work, simple suppers by the fire. Until one afternoon, Samuel saw 3 riders in the distance, silhouettes against the horizon. He narrowed his eyes. The wind carried a familiar sound, trouble. The riders stopped at the fence. The leader, a scar-faced man with a crooked grin, called out, "You Samuel Graves?" "Depends who's asking." "Name's Cal Harker. You outbid me for that blonde back in Dust Haven. She's mine. I came to collect." Samuel's hand hovered near his revolver. "She ain't yours. She's free." Cal smirked. "Everything's got a price, old man. You just paid the wrong one." He nudged his horse forward. "Now hand her over before I take myself." The wind grew still. Even the birds went silent. Samuel's voice came low, gravel deep. "You step 1 inch closer. You'll regret it." Cal laughed. "You're too old to bluff, Grandpa." But Samuel didn't bluff. He drew his gun faster than Cal could blink. The crack of his Colt echoed through the valley. One bullet shattered Cal's revolver. Another tore a line across his hat brim. "Next one goes through your skull," Samuel said calmly. Cal's grin vanished. His men exchanged glances, uneasy. "This ain't over," Cal spat, turning his horse. "We'll be back." "Then bring a coffin," Samuel replied. The outlaws disappeared in a cloud of dust. That evening, Lily found him sitting on the porch, cleaning his revolver in silence. "You could have been killed," she said. "Maybe. But I've been dead before," he murmured. "This time, I had a reason to live." Her eyes softened. "You saved me again." He smiled faintly. "Guess I did. But truth is, you saved me first." She frowned. "What do you mean?" "When I bought your freedom, I thought I was helping you," he said. "But these past weeks, you reminded me what life feels like. What home sounds like when someone laughs." Tears welled in her eyes. "Sam," he shook his head gently. "Don't thank me, Lily. Just live. That's enough thanks." The new dawn. Months passed. The ranch bloomed again. The fences were fixed, the fields green. Samuel and Lily became something rare. Family not bound by blood, but by survival. Every night, they'd sit by the porch, watching sunsets paint the valley gold. One morning, as rain swept across the land for the first time in years, Lily stood beside Samuel on the porch. "Funny thing," she said, smiling through the drizzle. "Rain used to scare me. Now it feels alive." He nodded. "That's 'cause it means the land's still breathing. We both are." The storm rolled over them, washing away the dust, the pain, and the ghosts of the past. Samuel tipped his hat and looked at the sky. Maybe the West ain't all bad after all. Lily laughed softly beside him. "No, Sam, not anymore." And in that quiet rain, an old man and a freed girl found something neither had believed in for a long, long time: peace.